All right, hey guys, OFD checking in here with you on a Friday night. Really excited about this little watch here I'm going to show you. Now, you guys, we look at all the Facebook groups and stuff like that, but I have to tell you guys, my favorite Facebook group is Instagram. I actually saw somebody post that somewhere on Facebook, and it really struck me. I was like, yeah, I love Instagram. I saw this brand of watches on Instagram about a week ago. I think I was on vacation, and I think the caption that the poster put was, keep this watch collecting thing fun. And the watches, I've seen them before, they are exactly that. They are watches, they're fully functional, mostly automatic watches, but really with fun in mind. I'm going to bring my little other phone here up here in front of it and just kind of go through some of these watches. The company is Mr. Jones Watches, and as you guys can see, just kind of scrolling through here, they make just some really very unique design watches. Like I said, mostly mechanical. Now, the company is out of London, England, and from what I can tell, they do the assembly and regulation, all the printing of the artwork and stuff like that on the watches is done in London, England. But they have so many different watches out there to offer, all fully functional, and guys, just so much different than really what I'm even used to seeing, in watches all the time out there, and that's what makes this a lot of fun. So I went ahead and ordered myself a Mr. Jones watch. This is the outside sleeve that came on the box. I went ahead and pulled it off. Let's go ahead and get this little box up here and take a quick look at it. So inside the box, as you guys can see, just simple stuff like this, Mr. Jones watches. And you guys can see already right here, the Green Man, the name of many pubs in London, I'm sure, but also the name of this particular watch. Oh, one thing I wanted to show you guys I thought was neat on the back of the box here is, actually it's kind of cool, the good horologist, balanced thoughts, concentric harmony, and indispensable pivots. There on the back you can actually see the back of the watch, the Green Man engraved there on the back, made in London. The mechanician of movement, effectual, or for effectual navigators, midnight explorers, pavement drifters, heroic do-nothings, and solely for exclusives. That sounds like us watch guys, to be honest with you. Yeah, so anyways, let's go ahead and get the box open and take a look at this. Now, the Green Man is kind of the name of a mythical character that is throughout really actually a lot of different history and stuff like that, and just kind of it represents, has always kind of represented that transference into spring, kind of from the winter and the cold deadness of winter into spring, kind of just a legendary folkloric piece of work here. So the art on this watch inspired by the old William Morris. He was the preeminent Victorian artist back in the day, so this artwork definitely harkens back to that. This watch is actually an automatic movement running a ST1721 20 joule automatic movement. Now guys, I will admit to you that I do not have any idea what that movement is. I do know it has a decent power reserve on it, and it has a jump hour feature for the hours here. I'll show you how that works here in a minute. The case on this watch, this is what they consider their mid-size, their unisex watch. It's a 37 millimeter from side to side. You've got 46 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip, and this watch is running a 20 millimeter lug opening. Absolutely cool lugs on this watch. Very nice and thin, and they come down to this nice rounded end. Well, I really like the lugs on their watches. All of them have this real neat case style like this. This is a PVD, black PVD coated case, all 316L stainless steel. Now, you guys are really wanting to know how this thing keeps time. So you guys can see there in the upper jaw, those two front teeth, you can see the 10 there. That's 10 o'clock. Down on the bottom teeth, you guys can see the 10 that is kind of moving over to the right this direction. You can see a black block coming in here, which will have the 15. So each of those spaces or the teeth in between there are your minutes. So it's 10, about 10:13 right now. Okay, so pretty easy to read once you kind of figure it out. Now for me, I have to admit, I have 48-year-old eyes, guys, and it's really tough for me to see this anywhere outside of bright sunlight, but it's really cool, and it does keep great time. I'm going to go ahead and pull the crown out here to show you guys how this watch functions. Now, as you guys can see, the 15-minute sections are blacked out like that, so it makes it really easy to see every 15 minutes. And I'm going to show you how this jump hour mechanism actually works. So you got 25, you get your 30 at the, darked out at the 15 minute, 35, 40, you'll see the 45 coming around here, 50, 55, and then watch that hour at the top. We'll jump to the 11 o'clock. And at your hour, at the top of your hour, you guys can see there's a tooth missing, so you have that space. Very cool watch. I just thought it was so unique. Now they make a lot of different styles of this watch with the mouth function like that, as you guys saw, like kind of the Santeria, that style one and stuff like that. A lot of different watches and a lot of different functions. They make one that's like a GMT watch with all these famous buildings from around the world, and there's a hand that points to the building of the time zone. It's just so cool, so unique and different. 37 millimeter, like I said, I will get this watch on the wrist, guys. I didn't get a thickness on this watch, so let's go ahead and fire up the caliper here. As you guys can see, it's zeroed out. Now, I do believe we're looking at 11.6, just a little over 11.5, so nice and thin. I do believe what we have here is a mineral crystal on this watch. They did not specify. That usually is going to tell you it's mineral crystal, but very nice, comfortable little watch. Looking at the back, you guys can see it is engraved with the Green Man, made in London. I'm assuming this is maybe a part number there, and then MrJonesWatches.com. Now, very cool watch. I will leave a link to the website down below, guys, where you can go check these out, all the different styles of watches. And I'd say if you're one of these people that really wants to add something different to the collection, these watches do it. I mean, there's so many different ones out there. I'll show you this side of the watch. What looks like it would be a crown is actually not a crown there. That's non-functioning, but it is signed, which is kind of interesting. The actual functional crown is over here on the other side of the watch, and surprisingly, it's not signed. So I don't think it really matters. Now, you guys have to forgive me for the fingerprints all over this little PVD case. It's just kind of gotten dirty, and I think I've let the watch wind itself down a little bit here because it looks like we're stuck at that spot down there. But it is so fun. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pause the camera here for a second so we can get this watch on the wrist. And guys, we're not going to have a lume shot because there's no lume on this watch. Why would there be any lume? I guess it would be cool if they could make something glow in the mouth so you could read it, but they don't have that. There's no lume on this watch, and that's fine. Most watches don't need to have lume. That's a dive watch guy nutty thing. So let me pause it for a second. We'll get this on the wrist to go out with, guys. All right, guys, so there is the watch on my 7-inch wrist. It looks pretty good. That 37 millimeter case wears very well, and the 46 from lug tip to lug tip is just perfect. This is a really fun watch. If you guys are watch collectors and you really want to add something different to the collection, if you're tired of looking at the same old thing, definitely check out Mr. Jones Watches. All the artwork is done at their workshop in London, England, and that's really cool. They do all the assembly of these watches there at their shop in London. Now, I'm sure they're using some, parts. I'm sure that they're using a Chinese automatic movement in this watch, but who really cares? I mean, it's just a really nicely done watch. They do all the hand assembly, regulation, and artwork in their workshop in London. So, awesome watch, guys. Look down below at the link for Mr. Jones Watches, guys. Definitely a fun one. Stay tuned this weekend as I have at least 2 or 3 more reviews coming, guys, because I got watches kind of backing up on me with all the vacations and fun we've been having around here. But time for more watch reviews. So, all right, guys, if you liked the video on the Mr. Jones Green Man, give me a thumbs up down there at the bottom. And if you've not subscribed to the OFD channel yet, please do. Please do. All right, thanks, guys.